everything works out. Everything in divine order.
Yes, that's a good note for us to start on. Hey guys.
Hello, hello. Wait, they come my phone away.
Well, we done rolling. We rolling, bro.
Unprofessionalism.
We rolling. You gotta be on it. So guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's
the
go,
shoulder
bro.
roll, the infamous,
You gotta do some
the
kind of
infamous shoulder roll.
something.
Yeah.
My guest does have to do it too. So
Really?
it doesn't have to be, you could spruce it up. Do it how you want to do it. You don't have to do it like me.
I just gonna give a salute. Welcome to the YouTube channel. You don't know we're in the right place for the right interview at the right time. Everything in divine order.
So you ain't gonna do the shimmy. You could do. Okay. Yes.
There we go.
So we right here at Idol Shop. We have my brother here, Jawara.
AKA Kuj.
Yeah, I was gonna say your name, man. You don't want to bring
But I am
Jawara.
providing with you.
Okay, cool. So we are at the side of the road, right? So
you're gonna hear
you're
things
gonna hear
like
cars
that and things like that.
Yes.
But you're gonna hear us too.
Yeah, so we're here. Just bear with us. One day I'll have all the proper equipment. Keep watching the video so I could actually afford it.
Listen, all you gotta do is enjoy the process. So you can say, boy, I remember back in the day when the footage used to be like this and the sound was like this. And all you were like, no, boy, she even got a chair like Oprah and everything.
Speak it, bro. Speak it. So as I said, we have my brother here, Kuj, here with us, and we will be discussing, some interesting things, mental health and healthy eating for the most part. So before we begin, I'm going to introduce him and how I met him, and then he can go ahead and introduce himself. So this man right here wears many caps. He's doing all the things that's there, he's doing it. So Kuj, I used to see Kuj in high school. He was one of the older boys. He used to hang around by the canteen side. So we had a mutual friend, so I used to notice him. And when it was 2018, when you guys had to work, not you guys?
2018 or 2019.
Okay, in 2019, Honeycomb had a workshop here. And, we were networking, and I started to talk to him, and we started talking about mental health. And when people start talking, I don't like surface level conversation. Let's have the deep conversation. Like if my first time meeting you, I wanna know not your business, but let's have in-depth conversation. So I had that conversation with him, and I was like, oh my gosh, we talked about mental health and the food and agriculture, how different things connects to that, and that blew my mind. So from then we continue to keep stay connected.
Instagram, WhatsApp.
Yes. So he always put me on to the books and the knowledge. So I really appreciate him. He don't just keep it to himself. He shares it, and I really appreciate that about you. So, like I said,
knowledge is to be shared. If you keep it for yourself, then you can't really use it. I actually believe, no way to cut you across, but I truly believe when you obtain knowledge, you actually grab the concept a lot better when you share it.
Makes sense.
Because you could know something and you just know it.
Yeah.
You read it once, you're like, oh, this is sick, and then you forget about it. But you can remember something, you talk to someone about it maybe a week later, and in the discussion, bouncing information back and forth, you're like, oh, now I really understand what it is. So if you really want to say you know something, you have to put it out there.
True. And I try to practice that. When someone explains me something, and I try to explain it how I understand it, because sometimes when you hear certain things, it might not be how the person meant it. So that's very, very smart. So Kuj, he is an artist. He is a chef, entrepreneur. I don't know what you call the study that you did.
Sound engineer.
There's that, not that one.
The sound engineer is in
agriculture.
No, actually agriculture was more. I got that from
my
father.
I thought you studied.
What I studied was sound engineering, and I did professional negotiation, which you didn't know. And I wanted to do business, marketing, and all that, but I was like, I'll just dive into it, just do it.
Okay.
That's where the entrepreneurship came from. Entrepreneurship came from being like, I can pay to learn all these things, or I can pay and start my own thing and just learn as I go. Yeah, that worked out.
Okay, but you still have me as at negotiate
professional negotiation.
Yes, because I am not the best at negotiating. So definitely after this, I'm going to ask you more information about that. So yes, did I touch? We touch all the points. You sure you're missing nothing?
No. There's a other hat, but that's not really business.
Yeah, that's your.
That's more of a personal hat.
Yeah, I got you. So, what was I gonna say?
Tell me.
Okay, let's just dive into the conversation then. When I spoke to you, you talked about we talked about agriculture and how it would benefit the Saint Martin. Well, Saint Martin. Let me hold on with it. Saint Martin. So you talked about the vision that you have for Saint Martin, and it's something that I can see and I understand the reason why, and we need it here, especially like how things are going.
Oh yeah.
Because of due to COVID. Now talk about the vision that you have.
Well, there's due to COVID, but not. There's also due to the previous COVID-19 we had, which is the politician them that ain't really deal with the place properly. At the same time,
we're not just going to bypass that you just call the politician COVID, but continue.
No, I ain't. But the thing is, like, obviously, I've never been a politician. I have no interest in being one either. But so it's easy to say something and you've never been in the people them shoes. You know, it's very easy to say the politician them ain't no good and blah blah blah, and you never been in office, so you don't know how the pressure as being a parliamentarian or a minister or whatever it is. You don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have a conscience that you could observe and you could look at certain things and say, yo, like, do I not in that position? Like, it makes sense that you would do this instead of that. If you're someone that's compassionate, someone that thinks, someone that's like, okay, let me not think from my perspective as the comfortable one, as the one on the mountain. Let me think from the perspective as the one who's in the valley, because especially since I used to be in the valley. So that's why, based on that kind of information, I would say they was the previous COVID-19. You know, like they had us struggling to breathe and everything from before. And we see how the island reach a point now where after Irma, after the actual COVID-19, a lot of things can't be hidden no more. A lot of things are out there. Especially now with the upcoming food shortage that they're talking about. For years, people have been saying, that St. Martin needs to be sustainable with their own food. Because the day container can't come, people going to run but can't run because you're too hungry to move. But now, nobody was like, whatever.
Even though they're still like,
yeah, even though they ain't listening because the pressure ain't really hit certain people. And certain people ain't moving. Like, we got people in St. Martin struggling. And we know that. But the struggle that the people are struggling from don't have them behaving aggressive as people in other countries would be. Like people in other countries that are probably done run into certain political places and this and that, but St. Martin, Dutch side especially, were very passive. And
bro, you're talking the truth.
Very,
you are
very
talking
passive.
the truth.
And that passive behavior has its merits, it has its positives, but it also has its negatives. You know, you can't have someone stepping on you all the time and you're like, yeah man, this feels good. No, you have to stand up for yourself. But now we reach a point where, not to digress too much from
I need to bring you right back
about the food thing with containers. I've noticed, though I wasn't here when COVID just hit, I was in Canada at the time, but you know, you're paying attention to what's going on social media and talking to people back home. You come to realize, wow, a lot of people start to grow their own food at last because people saying, you know, if you don't want to go shop because you don't want to touch people, you start growing your own food or money shop or whatever. People had to get creative and return to the soil and grow their own food. And I was like, yo, this is so incredible that people starting to do that. Become more self-sustained, self-reliant. And then, you know, things kind of start to open up again. And lots of people are abandoning their garden is something. But this is part of our conditioning. St. Martin people on the Dutch side especially would say we've been conditioned in a way, along with a lot of other parts of the world, but the St. Martin for Caribbean
It's
island,
different compared to the French side. Let's just say that.
very
French side, they
different.
don't take it. Everything is striking.
Everything is strike, everything is strike, but not just that. Even in the aspect of if you're not rioting or whatever, people in St. Martin on the Dutch side don't really respect the idea of being self-reliant, and I don't understand. I can't fully grasp the idea how we are so easy
So
to
we
sell.
as a people,
Yeah, we as a people, we quick to sell we land. Very quick to sell our land. The land that we could keep or lease to people we want to sell. The land that you could grow food for not yourself but for your children, your grandchildren. You want to sell it to somebody else who's gonna put up a big shop for you to go and buy food in it.
because it's all about the money. But let's go to the vision that you had. Because, okay, when I was younger, I grew up in KZ, and we had this land. It was in. So there was a Haitian man that used to like grow fruits. Like he had his own little garden right in the back, a small little something. And there was like up the road when you come in, people just used to just throw trash there. I'm like, are you living right there? And it just used to have a pile of garbage over there. And as a child, I used to be like, why, somebody don't just come and clean up over there? And we would have somebody just, like, we grow our own fruits, And this is something that I've been thinking as a child. And when I spoke to you, that's something that you thought about as well. Like, honestly, if food here in St. Martin is expensive.
Ooh. Compared to other islands?
St. Martin food is expensive. When I first returned back here and I went Sunny Food to pick up a few things, and when they told me the price, I was like,
Yeah, you come again?
I had to leave some stuff there because it's ridiculous. But things like that, you can to help boost persons that are growing, or even give them that boost to continue.
You could actually inject way more money into people's pockets if you have, let's say for instance, going back to the vision thing. If you have St. Martin supermarkets, instead of selling products coming from abroad, when it comes to produce, if people are growing their own produce, okay, not everybody have land to grow their own food, so some people have no choice but to go to the shop. And now, if that shop is always getting produce from somewhere else, now they're getting produce from St. Martin instead. Now you're paying a local farmer, which will put money in that local farmer hand, and also put money into his children. Instead of that, will create more jobs because now the children will grow up. And farms, a lot of times, farming generates wealth. People can stay where they want, but there's a reason why a lot of people like Bill Gates and them, who they say buying up a lot of farmland, because you need to eat. And they will always have jobs when it comes to food. Even if you're not getting paid financially, you got food to eat. And that's one of the most important things. When you see people saying they're going to work, they got children, I got to work to put what? Food.
There's
on the
so much
table.
ways that you could generate this.
Exactly.
For persons that cannot work like regular jobs, you can like invest. This is you invested in your people.
Exactly.
You invested in new entrepreneurship, making jobs. But sometimes we don't see the bigger thing. Subsidize places, farms that are already growing things. It will give people that ambition to want to do their own thing too as well. So like you really putting in to the people of St. Martin. When I first came back from the States, I was complaining about a lot of things, because when you go abroad, you see your eyes open up to certain things, and you're like, man, why my island is not doing the same thing too? And I was talking to my mentor at that time. I told her about it, and she's like, government can't do everything. And she's right.
Government can't do everything, but not because they can't do everything means they shouldn't do nothing.
No, meaning like we as a people, we also have. Yeah.
Pause for a cause. But you said the government can't do everything.
Yes, but we as a people, we also have a hand in it too.
But who's government?
We.
Exactly. So we could do anything.
True, but we're not, as you said, we're being passive.
We are being passive, and that's the same thing to conditioning. This conditioning started from our forefathers, from our
And we
grandparents,
get
and
a
then
little history.
no, but if we look at it, you know how they talk about how the late Clanwati, they say, used to go around, used to take care of people. But you see, the thing with taking care of people is a funny thing when you take care of people. Two things can happen when someone taking care of you. They can take care of you and shaft you behind your back, which happened to a lot of people. You know, you take care of them, and next thing you know, your land gone,
So you get taken care of at a cost.
Exactly. And then there's the other possible negative aspect of someone taking care of you, where you yourself become lazy. Because someone always taking care of you, you're like, nah, I don't gotta do it because what his name is or what she name is going to do it. And this, I find in St. Martin, we got both things happen. Some people got lazy, and some people got sharp. And also some
there's
people,
no positivity in that one?
No, sir. There's no positivity in what happened, because look at us today.
True.
We're passive aggressive. Even if we say, and why I say passive aggressive, because you will see a group, why let me do this, let me do that. The day come, nobody shows up.
One or two people
or
going.
a small group shows up, and you can't really have an impact with a small group of people unless that small group of people come with some heavy artillery, which is a different story altogether, which we don't want St. Martin to reach. We don't want it to reach there.
Yeah.
But we want the people to not just be outspoken in their words, but outspoken in their actions.
Yes.
And we could be outspoken in many ways. You know how we say about government could invest in agriculture and so on, but like I asked you, who's government? So we are the government. We ourselves could take the initiative and grow our own food, because as you said, your previous mentor says government can't do everything, which makes a lot of sense, because you know, St. Martin, we have this mentality that government can't do everything. Anything happen by government? I've seen people see garbage fall on the road, and instead of saying, "My, this is my area, let me just move that garbage and turn the garbage back," by government should send somebody to pick that up. You are there.
True.
And we got this thing really messed up when we want government to do everything.
True.
If everybody said, okay, cool, we all gonna go,
Yeah.
we all gonna start to work with each other instead of being like, why, what your name is Gada, what your name is Gada. We have to also stop this mentality. We live too competitive. We're competing with each other way too much.
That has changed compared to back then.
Oh yeah.
Back then, people used to work.
How's that?
We used to live better amongst each other than in comparison to now.
But that's because of the same thing. We became lazy when it comes to certain things. Now we want money, but we want money fast. And on top of that, we've seen somebody, we don't know how somebody get whatever chance they got. What his name is, what your name is, get that, this and that and that. Instead of, and this is how we close ourselves off to knowledge. Let's say I see somebody with a knife Jeep. I got two options. Well, actually three options. I could say, well, no, thank God, thank God that he blessed them with that. Or I could be like, bye, this man get this or whatever. Or instead of being negative, you could just go and say, yo, and I admire your hustle. Can you show me how to do certain things? Don't carry me by the hand, but give me one or two information, and maybe I could apply it into my own life.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do that,
Yeah.
and that's an ego thing.
Yeah.
We're too proud to ask.
Yeah.
Too proud to ask. And then the ones, remember now, it's the same people with the same mentality. I maybe might have the mentality, but I happen to know the knowledge how to get this Jeep. So now I get the Jeep, me want to tell nobody how to get it.
Or you just see me with my car, don't mind my
Exactly.
business.
And now it's like, yeah, me won't tell nobody nothing, because if it was me, it's like, there's too much ego, too much pride. And for an island that don't produce nothing, we got too much pride. Way too much pride for an island that don't export anything other than students. We export students.
And they're not coming
And they
back if
coming
you
back.
don't have nothing to
And
provide
they
us.
coming back.
Listen.
So the most important thing you exporting is not willing to come back.
Yeah, because what we coming back to, you understand? And when we do come back with things, the older have not are not accepting what we're proposing. You know?
Or they taking your ideas. That's the other thing that a lot of people gotta stop doing as a man. They're taking people's ideas. People will come with a great idea instead of encouraging it. This is what they just do. They just be like, I ain't think that's a good idea. No. That ain't going to work. This and that. And that. Discourage you.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, you see them with your idea. And you're like, but I don't, you know, I just, it just happened to come across my mind one day and I decided to make it better. So why you didn't check me? It's always that. There's never no direct answer to that.
But one thing that you did touch on, and I totally agree, it really does have to go both ways. You know, be willing to provide the information and humbling yourself enough to ask. If they don't want to, fine.
You did your part.
Yeah, you look for some. One thing I've always, like, I like to ask questions. Let me tell you, this guy right here, any question I would just go and ask him, and he willingly like shares it. It doesn't. What advantage do you get when you just hoarder the information to yourself? Yes, you may gain money from it, but I don't know. I feel like what is for you will be for you. You know, nobody will be able to take away from what is yours. So why you can't have and you have to.
Exactly.
So, but okay, so we talked about the vision and agriculture and how it would be able to help us from the economic side, but let's talk about the health side as well. Because when we had the discussion, we were talking about how herbs could help for like mental health. And honestly, I was thinking about MJ at that time.
Which MJ does play a role.
Yes, it does play a role. It really depends on how you use certain things. And there are times we just knock certain things off because, okay, it was used bad and so we can't use it. So how can we use agriculture even to help us as the people, as the community, how would we be able to help us?
Well, what people a lot of people don't realize is that food is directly involved with a lot of things to the human body and psyche. And a lot of times the way how the body feels, the way the mind feels as well. So it's actually a common thing, and if you don't believe me, anything I say, you could Google it yourself. So you can say, Kuja said this and he lied, I know it's true. You could Google it. And if I say something wrong, leave it in the comments and we can discuss
leave it in the comments.
Because this is a thing that knowledge doesn't stop. Knowledge keeps going, it keeps going. So I may know something today and then learn more tomorrow, and
things change too in a sense too. So.
Not just change, it evolve.
Yes.
And information is a funny thing. You can get information today, find out the information was wrong 10 years later, which is something very interesting I want to touch on a little later. But your mood a lot of times is affected by what you eat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you haven't noticed, you should take the time to notice it.
Yeah.
When you're hungry, obviously you eat in a long time, you're cranky. Okay. And now you eat a certain food. Now you feel better. And now you notice you're feeling lethargic, you're lazy. And then suddenly you feel annoyed, feel agitated. Most of the time you experience that when you eat fried foods. You feel like agitated, you're like, no, why? Or you might feel hyper. You're like, and you don't even know why you're hyper. You're just hyper for no reason. And then they got some foods that actually make you think clearer. Certain superfoods like maca, ashwagandha, these things are good for your mind. So you might, maca especially, I find it's very good for the mind. It's good for energy. Actually for women it's good for their menstruation cycle. For men and women it's good for your energy. And like for anything that's healthy, all healthy foods affect your sex drive. So you see a lot of people be like, oh yo, this is good for your sex drive. No, if you eat healthy and drink healthy, your sex drive is fine. People gotta stop buying this and buying that for their sex drive. Eat good, exercise, drink good, you good. That's all you need, because the human body functions effectively if you treat it good. On top of that, we don't really want to drink our water as we should, but we need to drink our water. Water is also good if you drink enough of it. It keeps your mind clear. And a lot of us are suffering from depression. Depression, anxiety has skyrocketed, especially with COVID-19. And what are we doing with it? What are we doing this time? A lot of us eating worse. We're eating worse. We're eating more comfort food. But the thing is with comfort food, it feels good now. Later you're getting big, but now when you get fat, this is the thing about fat. It gives your body inflammation. Now you got certain aches and pains that you know where that ache and pain coming from. The joints here hurting, your knee hurting. You're 20 but you feel 40.
You feel like you're putting me under the bus.
No, I'm just saying in general, because a lot of people experience the same thing.
I feel attacked, but go ahead.
And I was like, yo, what's going on? And it's a simple thing. Is your body got inflammation. You're drinking a lot of things with sugar. You notice your bones feel weak. You're causing osteoporosis in your body because a lot of sugar will wear out your bones. And we don't really notice these things because this is a slow poison. It ain't gonna happen to you today. It's gonna happen over time. You see a lot of people where their bone density just shrink from time. And then they didn't know why. You're drinking a lot of soda. And we know we in the Caribbean, in most parts of the world, we like with rum, we like with this, we like with that. Alcohol is a known depressant. So when you hear people saying, "Well, I like to drink because it makes me feel loose," that means your consciousness is in a low frequency. You are low vibrational, and you are so comfortable being in a low vibrational state that you only feel good when you're in a low vibrational state. Sometimes when you're not drunk or tipsy or whatever, and you have to deal with your reality, you are being forced to move to a higher consciousness, but you're not used to it, and you don't even know how to climb. So now you're feeling stress, you're feeling this, you're feeling that. And you want to drink, you want this comfort food, you want all these kind of things that keep you in a low state. And then you wonder why you can't move forward in life. And this is also another thing.
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
This is also another thing. Sometimes we have great visions, great ideas. And I'm sure you experienced this before. Everybody experienced this. You got a good idea, but you feel stuck. You're like, why stuck? I don't know, the idea good, but I feel like I just go in the circles. I don't know how to move forward. But a lot of times, there's two things. There's always a divine aspect within it. It could be your vision in from God. That's another thing. But it could also be that your food keeps your mind dormant.
Okay, wait. How?
So, if you're eating foods that cause inflammation, remember inflammation seizes up the body.
Okay.
Inflammation travels throughout the entire body, even into your mind. So imagine your brain is full of inflammation. Can you think properly? Can you process things properly? And on top of that, we already have the daily stresses of life in combination with all these things.
Wait, do you think that fasting helps with that?
Oh yeah. Fasting is a must. If you ain't fasting, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Okay, so how often should someone fast? And I do want to ask you the question in regards to the anxiety and depression. The foods that we eat, alcohol and those things cater to it, but what should we do to help us? Yes.
Well, fasting, as you want to talk about it, fasting is definitely good for that. Fasting has proven to not make you feel better, to make you think better, and actually make, in a weird way, it makes opportunities come your way. And you would say, how is this possible? Because you're mentally, physically, you detox yourself from a lot of negativity. And also fasting is good for the gut, because they say your gut is like a second brain. That's why they say, think with your gut, think with your gut. If your gut is polluted, you can't make good ideas. You see a lot of people be like, boy, I should have gone with my gut. But let me tell you, a lot of why you go with your gut and still make a bad decision because your gut ain't healthy. Your gut ain't healthy at all. And I ain't trying to say I'm perfect. I ain't trying to say, boy, I got the most, I eat healthy all the time. I don't do that all the time because, when you travel something, you can't get what you want, blah, blah. There's all these things. But You have to be conscious of what you're doing. You have to say, well, if I eat not too good today, I gotta fix that tomorrow. But now with the fasting, some people when they fast, if you're fasting for a spiritual connection, it could become overwhelming depending on what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with trauma, anxiety, depression, fasting could put you through some things. But if you're fasting for a health aspect, you just want to feel better, etc. You want to reprogram and reset your body. There's different methods of fasting. You could do a water fast. So all you do is drink water. Now this might be a little extreme for some people, but you could practice. You could do just one day. Just one day, you spend half the day, like from you wake up to 1 o'clock, just water. Or depending on how you do, you can do the whole day, just water.
You could work yourself to it.
Exactly. And if you're a very active person, if you're very physically active, maybe fasting with just water ain't gonna work for you. So you could buy trace minerals. Now trace minerals, they come in these little drops. There's a brand I particularly just use called Mortar's Best Trace Minerals. It's a water drop.
Okay.
It has like 80 something of the minerals the human body needs. Now the thing is, when you're on a water fast, it's just drinking water, so you're not getting all of the nutrients you need. And if you're busy, you get lightheaded, dizzy, all of these things. But if you're taking those trace minerals in your water, it still gives your body the nutrients it needs in the aspect of minerals. So you still could function at a high pace even though you're feeling a little weak.
Yeah, you have to know your body too when you go into these things. So if you know you're like you have to eat by a certain time to get weak, but you have to monitor your body before you go into fasting.
Yeah. And if you never fast before, do be aware that you don't know your body in this way. So you have to learn your body. This is also a way of you getting to learn yourself. You get to know how much discipline you have when it comes to controlling your eating, what you want to eat, etc. And also, when you eat certain foods, it makes your body harder for you to do a fast. Like go to sugar and processed like bread and those kind of things. The bacteria that creates in your body, it makes you crave food more than ever. Like if you do a complete fast, a successful fast, you will find yourself not wanting to eat as much anymore.
True.
You'll be like,
you might eat just because you want to eat, but not because your body wants.
Your body don't need it.
Yeah.
But if you eat a lot of bread, cheese, and those kind of things, fried foods, you will always want to eat because your body desires now. Your body become an addict to this food, and now you just want more and more of it, and more of it is doing what to you? Make you sicker and sicker. And if you care about your money too, you're spending more money on this bad food. While you could fast, eat less, and in a way with the hard times they say come in, if you can practice one meal a day, practice OMAD, if you prepare yourself, you condition yourself for these things that come in, you know. Of course you have to, it's not good to live in a constant negative state of mind, but preparation is better than cure. You condition yourself, okay, for the next 2-3 days I eat one meal a day, and I eat normal the rest of the week. You prepare your body for when things come. I personally, when I say things that I do it already. I'm not just saying things. I did a 40-day water fast. 40 days. And trust me, it was tough.
I was gonna ask you.
It was tough because I was working in a restaurant in Canada at the time, and it's one of the busiest vegan restaurants up there at the time. But I think it still is one of the busiest restaurants up there. And you see food all day.
The smell of the food.
You smelling it,
Ain't nothing like a fast for people to start offering you food out of the blue.
But this is why you don't tell nobody. If you're fasting, you don't tell people.
No, you don't tell them, but it just comes to you.
No, but in general, I just want to throw that out there. If you're fasting, don't make it a thing to tell people because it's their business. This is your body, your experience. This is you guys to know yourself because when people know you're fasting, sometimes the thoughts they have in or the things they say, that energy in general could play with your aura, whether you know it or not. Because everything is energy. Thoughts, words, everything is energy. And if you are already in a weakened state because you're not eating, and this person next to you is thinking negative thought, has a stronger aura than you, it can mess up your whole vibe.
But if it's aura and energy, like even if you don't say it, do you think it's still going to have an effect
Oh yeah.
on the person?
Oh yeah, they got people who sit down and think negative of people and it happen. Trust, and not even negative. How much times I could show you how your mind could make certain. It doesn't your mind make it happen, but the energy.
Do you think something and then it happens, or you think about somebody
and they pop up?
Yeah.
My dad was just thinking about you, and I ain't see that person in 10 years. Those kind of things. The way how, remember, everything is connected. Everything is frequency. Everything is wave. Everything is one.
But I want to ask you, like, okay, so you talked about the bad foods. What can we use? You talked about the, like, maca and those type of things. But for me, I struggle. Like, what would be, like, a basic thing for someone to start eating?
So one of the
like
best
a green
things,
and then this and that, like something simple that we can start before we like venture into
the whole thing.
Something practical, because we think, we're used to meat, we're used to different things, and it's like vegan, that sounds like a lot of work.
But even if you're not vegan, you can still eat healthy and not be vegan. You can still get grass-fed meats, and you can still get organic stuff. I don't eat flesh, but if you want to eat flesh, you can eat organic stuff. The issue with meat these days is that most of it is processed and it's old and whatever. But now when it comes to you want to dive into a healthier diet, everything starts at home. So you go to your house, you look in your cabinets, you look in your fridge, you look at all the garbage down around, and you get rid of it. Maybe some of the stuff you get cost money. You could donate it, or I don't know, if you don't care about it, you can throw it out. But it's better you donate it and stuff, and you clear out your cabinets, clear out your fridge of anything that's not good. So that way you are not tempted to have it when the pressure hits you. Especially
because you're used to it.
Exactly, and the pressure will hit you at night the most. At night.
It's true.
And you're like, why me eat all day and this and that? Now you
could do some French fries.
But now the thing is, sometimes, let's say you clear out your cabinet and everything in your fridge. And I do recommend that you slowly develop a fast. Like before you dive into it, you want to do a fast, or you want to do a colon cleanse. One of the two. I think the fast is I would recommend fasting more. Because the colon cleanse, if you're a busy person, you don't want to be going bathroom every 10 minutes. You don't want to be stuck in the toilet. If you're just fasting, you do 2 or 3 days, depending on how you deal with it, fast. Now, as I've mentioned, when you're fasting, your body ain't as strong as usual. So let's say now nighttime coming, you say, boy, I want to get some fries. You ain't want to get up and go buy them fries, because your body really like, bye. You rather go in your fridge, or some people are really determined to get the bad food too. But it's easier for you to get up and say, "By the way, why I got in the fridge? But let me do this instead." So part of your preparation, I would say, you clean out your fridge, clean out your cabinet. Get a schedule of what you want to eat. Do a meal prep if you can. Prepare the foods you're gonna have for the next couple of days.
What does a meal prep look like?
So your meal prep.
Because we like our rice and peas, all our starch and our protein, and like what would it look like?
Now you would look like you want to have average person at least 20-30% protein. You want to have 50% of healthy carbs.
What's healthy carbs?
So healthy carbs would be like sweet potato or just even regular potato salad.
Okay.
Have a lot of starch, but you can still have it.
Okay.
We like rice. You want to avoid rice as much, like even brown rice. You want to avoid rice, but if you still want to opt for rice, opt for brown rice or wild rice. So wild rice is usually black, the black wild rice.
Okay.
Rather pricey. So it's better you go for brown rice if you're looking at to economize while you're doing this. Quinoa is one of the best things you can get. Quinoa spelled kamut. Millet is good, but millet bean, most people can't handle the taste of millet.
I've never heard of that name.
Yeah, but it's also another like, Asian
Grain.
grain.
Mm.
So that would be like your carbs, and then you have your protein. If you do meat, you get your meat. If you want to do like a vegetarian or vegan protein, then you do beans and lentils. Those are the most organic things you could get. If you want to have certain other things like tofu, tofu is, if you like building muscle and those things, that's a different thing. But if you like just want to clean your diet out, legumes, beans, and tempeh. If you want to opt for something that's like tofu-like, you want to get tempeh. And tempeh also ain't that cheap, but it's high in protein. And the protein is very important. Even if you're not exercising to build no muscle, protein is a very important part of your food because it has amino acids and that's good for your brain and everything. So you want to get that. Then you want to get your healthy fats, nuts, seeds, avocado, and you want to get you want to ensure you get your leafy greens. So bok choy, arugula. Don't buy romaine lettuce, please. Don't buy romaine lettuce, and don't buy iceberg lettuce. For the love of God, don't buy iceberg. Iceberg lettuce has absolutely zero nutritional, like zero. You practically eating water, pretty much, and it ain't good water either. So get arugula, get bok choy, arugula especially. Spinach is good, but arugula is really up there. Watercress is up there. Bok choy up there. Any other leafy green, kale, Swiss chards, you want to get these kind of greens into your diet as well. And that'll be a good dish. You have your healthy carbs, you got your protein, your healthy fat, and your greens.
So, like ground provision and those things, is it
too much starch? And as much as we love the plantain, I would say boil your plantain instead of frying it. And if you wish to fry your plantain, if you really want, use what's it called?
oil?
Coconut oil or olive oil, but those things you still don't want to heat them up. So it's better you boil them, better you boil them. And yeah, that's what I would say. You want to avoid oil as much as possible. If you want to use oil, you want to use olive oil or coconut oil.
I heard it's not good to cook with coconut. No, olive oil.
It's not good to heat it up.
Yeah.
No, so you
can
put
it over your salad and stuff, but you're not.
Exactly.
I didn't even know.
Or even,
I thought olive oil was well, it's healthier, but I thought that you could cook with it. When I learned that, I was like, oh, I did not know.
So let's say you finish cook your quinoa. Once it's done cooked, you can throw it over and then mix it so your thing don't clump up and so on. There's grapeseed oil you could use. That you can actually hot up. Avocado oil you could hot up. You could hot up those, and St. Martin avocado oil is expensive too. But I gotta give you the information. So that's what I would say you wanna have. And part of your fasting, if you want to get your body conditioned for healthier foods, you could you do want to do green juices. Like get some green apples, kale, celery, and you want to juice this.
I tried a celery thing. It's very empowering.
You really want to try that so you get your body used to, like you clean your body out one time, your gut especially, and
I think too it's good to find what's good for you too,
Oh, in the oil aspect, hemp seed oil is good too.
But I was saying that I think it's good for you to find out what's good for you. Like, not like a quinoa might not be good for you, but you try and error when it comes to these things because you are changing your lifestyle. So we talked about planting your own stuff. You learn, you'll fail, but then you know where it's coming from. It's not going through a lot of process. The foods, Kuja mentioned all of these different varieties. Find what's best for you. Exercise as well is very good. Exercise is
It's
good.
essential.
Yes, fasting.
Essential.
Fasting builds discipline. Very important. So even with working out too, you'll see how it changes in your life. Like I myself, I need to start with the eating thing because since I've been home, it just went south.
That's how it is.
It went south real quick. So all of these things I'm also taking in for myself. So before we close in, is there any other thing that you would like to share or touch base on that we didn't talk? That's good for the mental health because we still have a while on food. We know we love our mouth, but we spend a good time on the agricultural aspect as well. But any other additional thing?
Another thing start with food. So food will always be very important.
And you will notice it in your body.
Oh yeah.
You become less tired. Your body is gonna thank you for it, and I look forward to doing so.
So don't be discouraged by how you feel in the beginning. You're looking for the results. You're not looking for how you feel at the moment.
Yeah.
Because the best things are achieved in the long term.
True.
What I would say in closing is a big part of health is peace of mind.
Yeah.
You can eat healthy, you can exercise, you can do all of these things, but if you constantly stressed out, it don't matter.
So with all of this that's going on in this world, how can we prevent ourselves from being stressed?
By not taking certain things on and
you think it's easier said than done?
Actually, it depends. This might be a little, I wouldn't say controversial, but whatever.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who say there are people of faith. Our faith is constantly tested in this life. Don't think because you're a person of faith, life is easy. You're going to go through the worst things out there. But if you truly are a person of faith, then you should know that the Father got you.
Yes.
So that should be one of the easiest way to eject certain negativity from your mind. So if you saying well, I don't know how you're going to do this and I'm going to do that. And it's human nature to fret now. Don't think that.
Don't think you shouldn't worry at all.
Don't think I'm saying that if you're stressful, you ain't got no faith in that. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is when you reach a point where you mentally saying, but I don't know.
But God got
you. You got to say, bye. God won't see me through because I here today and we all got stories, so we all been through something. And we still here. And the reality is, whether you like it or not, you're going to continue to go through things because we are on this earth to be testimonies. We are on this earth to experience things so we can tell the next man, the next woman, the next child. That's part of this whole journey. This journey is not for you. It's not for you. The journey is for God and for others. That's what this journey is for. If you think this journey is for yourself, you're already lost. So, what you have to do is ensure that you find peace of mind. Pray, meditate,
journal,
eject yourself from society sometimes.
Yes.
Go on a social media fast.
Yes. Be very mindful what you leave in and out of your air gates, your eyes,
read, what
your
you
mouth.
listen to.
And speak good things over your life.
Always. And even your internal chatter is important. What you think about yourself when you by yourself.
Yes.
What you tell yourself. You're going to have that big meeting for a job or something. You have to get an interview. What are you telling yourself before you have this interview?
I'm going to get it.
Are you saying, well, I mean, how they're going to like me?
It's mine.
You have to just, as she said, you have to claim it.
Yes.
You don't get nothing without claiming it.
This is the confidence too.
Everything you have to claim in this world because we live in a world that whether you like it or not, there's competition. So you have to claim what's yours, and God said He gave you dominion over the earth, but you can't have dominion if you ain't going for it. So you have to always ensure you want to have that peace. And if you don't believe in God, then it's a different situation. But if you believe in a God and a higher power, rest assured you can always lean and comfort on Him. Always. So, but you must do yourself the favor to eat healthy, exercise, drink healthy stuff, and remove yourself. It's good to go hiking, good to go to the beach. Certain people, if you know certain people just rub your energy the wrong way, avoid them. don't make it your business
Do
to
this.
have to. Don't make it your business that you have to deal with them. Take your time and avoid these people sometimes. It's not just don't care about how they feel and this and that.
And you don't have to be disrespectful with it. Just
Exactly.
like, it's not conducive for you. So it doesn't mean that you don't love them, but it's not helping you grow. It's not helping you mentally, emotionally. It's okay to remove yourself.
And at the end of the day, even though we're here for each other and everything, growth is personal.
Yes.
So in a way, it is selfish.
Yes.
So you being around certain people is not helping you grow. As she said, even if you love them, I'm not doing this out of malice. I'm doing it out of my better. And if it's better for me, God will not make it be that it's better for me and bad for you.
Yeah.
It will be better for me and for you.
Yeah. Well, you might not say it, but that's fine. You don't have to say what I know.
Eventually, you know? So
But,
that's
yes.
what I would like to say in closing.
That's a very good closing.
Ensure that you do not have stress. Please try to live a stress-free life because, like I say, all the healthy things won't matter if you're stressed. Stress killing most people. Stress is the #1 killer on this planet. Regardless of what you say, COVID, cancer, stress.
So, as you said at the beginning, everything works together, and that's the same way that we're closing today's video. Everything works together. Don't stress about things that you cannot change. You know, if you could change it, then you make the difference so you can. But if you can't, just leave it. It's like God, it's about
God,
me now.
Yeah, God have it.
You know,
God
so
have it.
that's a great point for us to end on. Again, bro, muchas gracias
De nada.
for this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like Kuje said, leave any comments, anything that we may have missed. If you enjoyed the video,
We might have a part 2 or part 3. Though that might take a long time.
yeah, because this man is a very very busy man. You don't even want to know. But I am grateful that we were able to do this finally. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed doing this. So have a blessed and a wonderful day. Bye.